Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at Origins 2018. I'm sitting down with Tony Galati from Arcane Wonders. We brought us brand spanking new, fresh off the presses.
Yes, we did.
RWBY.
Yes, it's RWBY.
RWBY,
So
okay.
it's based on Rooster Teeth's hit anime series of the similar name. This is RWBY Combat Ready. We are all the main characters.
We're gonna have that. We don't have a box yet, so that's a preview of what the box cover will look like.
And there are some prototype type features here still. These cards are going to be double-sided or double cards, so the 5 by 3.5s, and some minor changes. But basically, this is looking at what we're actually going to have pretty close to original. We even have beginning sculpts of the miniatures that are going to be included as well.
So take us on a brief overview. What would we expect in a turn?
Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we are the characters. In this case, we don't have RWBY with us. We have Blake, Weiss, Penny, and Yang going against Roman Torchwick, one of the major villains in the show. So we are all cooperating against this villain. Our goal is to defeat the villain, and this is done through turns where one of the major characters are going to be on center stage. So in this case, I'm going to be Blake, and when I'm on center stage, I'm actually going to put my hero in the beginning section on the board. There's also the villain token here. So what you're going to be doing is, as you progress, you're going to be progressing down this track towards either the ultimate or a bash. So what happens is the villain is either going to bash you away, and you're going to be knocked far out off screen, out of the angle, out of center stage, and then the next player would come in. So during this time, as the one character is becoming the center stage and fighting on a one-on-one duel kind of against the villain, the other players are going to be assisting or taking on the objectives. So the objectives, in this case, there's a Grim deck, and it says every duel, draw 2 Grim cards and put them into play. So they're going to actually be face down.
Aha, face down.
To begin
there
with.
We go.
So you have an idea, and they are going to go over here next to this objective. So when this happens, what you're going to have happen is these are monsters, minions, that the Grim, that our huntresses are going to have to take care of. Or at the end of the round, they're going to end up dealing damage to the center stage character. So the non-center stage characters are going to be either assisting in the battle against the villain or taking on objectives. So what kind of will happen is you will have a hand of cards. And that is, so I'm working as Blake Belladonna right now. So I'll have a hand of a various number of cards, and I will be playing one with the intent that I want my speed to be higher than the villain's. But I have to play all of my cards. So I'm going to, as center stage, I'm eventually going to have to play them all. And basically, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at the stance of the villain. So the stance of the villain right now is aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah. I'll tell you where it's right.
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be probably playing my 9, because I have fairly low speed cards in my hand. So I'm going to play my 9 to begin with. So what I'll do there is I'll play my hero card here. Then each of the other players can choose to play a card. So you'd go around, and you know what?
Some might help here, some might help here.
Yes. So Weiss would go after this Grim. Penny is actually going to go against another Grim. And then Yang here, she's actually going to combo in the attack. Because what happens in comboed cards is it goes to the lowest value. So if Penny had comboed with a 4, what would have happened? It would have brought the whole attack down to speed 4. So it's a higher risk and reward. This means that basically Yang's jumping in to do 1 extra damage to the villain if we need. So then after everyone has decided where you're going, you would go and resolve everything. You'd flip over the Grim first, and you'd see, this Grim actually dealt damage to...
Okay, we take some hits.
But then you reveal the villain's card. So the villain's card, in this case, was only a 6, but there's an exclamation point ability, which says, if this attack gains +2 speed, if the active player was not assisted and is not part of the combo. However, the active player was a part of the combo, so it's still a 6. In this case, the 2 points of damage were dealt. We'd move 2 up the scale. The villain will always move 1. So there's always a progression as you go on with the villain.
So a more successful fight might give you that little bit of an edge.
And what you're doing is you're going to be pushing your luck throughout each turn, because as you get into these higher values, you gain more experience points and additional benefits to your players. And what happens with the experience is then you can use it between duels to upgrade your cards. So you have a bit of a deck building thing where you can come in and you can upgrade and build up your deck to be more powerful. Because what happens is this: there are one-on-one duels between the players and the villain. So what would happen is after this, you'd continue until all of Blake's cards are gone, and then what would happen is either you would be bashed out of combat, and then it would go to the next player, and Weiss would become the next one, or at that time, what would happen is you would bash the villain, you'd be successful, you'd still move on to the center stage, but you'd be able to play your ultimate. And when you play your ultimate, it would end that duel between you and the villain and go to the next player.
Now, did you guys create get any original art for this game, or is this using art from?
All of the artwork found in RWBY Combat Ready is unique artwork that was created for the game itself. So so it's all new artwork for the game itself. And if you flip them over, you'll see that basically they all have different stances, they have different speeds, and basically you get an idea of what's coming, but you don't exactly know what speed.
So you know aggressive kind of has a range, but you're not sure exactly where in that range it might fall or what flavor you might get.
Absolutely.
How long do you think a full game would take us?
A full game comes in at about an hour for 3 to 4 players. If you go to a full 5, and depending on the objectives you pick, it can go up to like 90 minutes if you go full blast. So that is where one thing is this: the objectives you see that one's green, one's yellow. It's because they all have different difficulties. So I can sit down with easy challenge objectives with groups of people that are like younger, new to games, or I can sit down with hard objectives, and I've had ones where our internal team can't beat certain combinations. So you have a range of difficulty that really spreads throughout.
It would hopefully give you a lot of replayability.
Absolutely. So. There's a whole scenario book that comes
Oh,
with it.
fantastic. All right. Well, that's, if you guys, I'm going to I'll sort of hold this up between us, so we don't have the box yet, but if you guys are interested in checking this out, this is RWBY, Combat Ready, and Tony, thank you so much for giving us a little sneak peek before it's...
Hey, no problem. Appreciate it. Thank you.